Gather round, children, as I recite the most beautiful song ever written, known as the Song of Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff, jiggly-ee-ee-puff, Jigglypuff, jiggly. Jigglypuff, jiggly-ee-ee-puff, Jigglypuff, jiggle-ee. Absolutely marvelous. What a beautiful piece of music. There's absolutely no way that that song is overrated and boring. Except it is. It's crap. Not unlike this entire episode. My name's Ace Trenilium, and these are the WTF Moments for Pokémon Season 1, Episode 45, the Song of Jigglypuff. It's bloody warm in here. I need to get this jumper off. As the episode begins, we find our heroes traveling across a vast desert. Hang on, a desert in Kanto? Unova? Sure. Hoenn? Sure. Kalos? Sure. Galar? Sure. But Kanto? I don't remember there being a desert there. Christ, imagine taking a wrong turn and ending up in a different region. The gang finally finds civilization in the form of Neon Town, which is clearly based on Las Vegas. So I'm going to assume that they've accidentally walked all the way to Unova.
Actually, Liam, this can't be Unova because Unova's based on New York, not Las Vegas.
Yeah, well, they're both in America. That's good enough for me. Plus, which one's closer to New York? Las Vegas or Japan? Ash almost ends up in a fight with a man who appears to be Robbie Rotten. Careful, mate. I've heard he's number one. Hey! Officer Jenny turns up to break up the fight and is, for lack of a better term, a proper Mardy bitch. She says everybody's on edge in this town because they stay up all night and they never sleep. Well then here's an idea for you, Jenny. Go to bed, you daft mare. Or better yet, hire another person for the police force instead of being all, oh, only Jennies can be police. Not bad. Meanwhile, James bumps into Robbie Rotten and the two start brawling. Alright, James, I can see that he will have to teach you how to be villains. I'm proud of that. Fucking proud of that. Uh-oh, someone released the Karen. Whilst James gets pummeled, Jessie gets spanked. Because apparently the Pokemon writers don't see any benefit to women beyond their sexuality. It's not a good look, guys. Not a good look. Ash and Co awaken the next day to everyone in the street arguing for no real reason. Wow, it's like a metaphor for Twitter, isn't it? The gang spot a wild Jigglypuff and Misty says she's always wanted to catch one. And Brock says,
but I thought you only liked water Pokemon.
And Misty responds,
I do, but I like this one too.
Technically, that response doesn't make sense because she said I do to only liking water-type Pokemon. So if that's the case, how can she like a Pokemon that's not water-type? Technically. Mate, how pedantic am I being here? It's like being in the YouTube comment section. Is this how you lot feel? Oof. Not for me. Misty sends out Staryu and has it use Double Edge on Jigglypuff, who gets yeeted into a tree trunk and then looks as if it's about to cry. Misty then asks, what's wrong? Jesus Christ, Misty, you just used a 100 base power move on this poor thing and it smacked into a tree trunk. That's what's wrong with it. Misty really is a stereotypical bully. You know, the kind that beats a kid up and when confronted by a teacher says, I don't know, miss, I only nudged him. According to Dexter, Jigglypuff has large friendly eyes. Friendly eyes? Friendly. These eyes. Dexter, mate, I'd hate to meet your enemies. Upon hearing that Jigglypuff is a Pokemon that's known for its singing, Misty asks Jigglypuff to sing for them, and Jigglypuff of course refuses, which confuses Ash and Misty. What part of you just yeeted this fucker into a tree do you guys not get? Brock thinks that Jigglypuff is trying to tell them that it can't sing. Personally, I think it's saying,
screw you guys, I don't owe you a damn thing. Either throw a Pokeball at me while I'm weak or get to step in and leave me the hell alone.
Misty shows a little bit of compassion, finally, for this Jigglypuff who apparently can't sing, and it responds by jumping face first into a minge. Looks like this Jigglypuff belongs in jail bars, not karaoke bars. I tell you what belongs on this video, a lovely like. Hit the like button, give us 10,000 likes. That's what I want on this video by the time it's like, 10 years since this video went live. Let's get to 10,000 likes in the next 10 years, guys. Also hit subscribe so you never miss an episode of my lovely, wonderful content that you're clearly very much enjoying because you're still here. Cheers. Team Rocket plan to steal Jigglypuff so they can put everybody in Neon Town to sleep and then ultimately rob them, but their fantasy doesn't include any Poliwags, Whirls, or Rats. So it just sounds dumb to me. Team Rocket bust out a karaoke setup and claim that they're tired of their motto, so they thought they'd sing a song. Listen, right, the Team Rocket motto is a cultural phenomenon and cannot be replaced. I still refuse to accept that nobly heroic man of our times bollocks from later seasons. Jessie and James sing about how when they capture Pikachu, they'll be the stars of this cartoon. Their words, not mine. Yep, Jessie and James called this anime a cartoon. Anime characters in an anime called that anime a cartoon. That now means that none of y'all can get butthurt when I refer to anime as cartoons. Just end of story. Jesse and James have spoken. You can't argue with them. Ash sends out Bulbasaur to try and stop Team Rocket, and James sends out Weezing in response, but Jesse does nothing. Bit out of character for Team Rocket to just send out one Pokemon. What, is Arbok tired from karaoke or something? Misty tries to encourage Jigglypuff to start singing, but unfortunately it just doesn't want to. So then Pikachu steps in to try and sing.
Pika, 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 Pika.
Yeah, voice of an angel, mate. Jigglypuff doesn't take kindly to Pikachu upstaging it, so sneaks up behind it and gives it a swift kick in the back of the head, which somehow nobody sees, including Pikachu, who was the one that was just kicked. Maybe there's a thought experiment here. Like, if a Jigglypuff kicks your fucking head in and no one reacts, did it even happen at all? Misty tries to get Jigglypuff to blow up a balloon to try and increase its lung power, but stuffs the already inflated balloon into Jigglypuff's mouth, thus inflating Jigglypuff, the balloon Pokemon. Misty, mate, are you sure you're trying to help? Oh, and speaking of things you can shove in your mouth, oi oi, using code ACE will get you some money off G Fuel. I'm drinking the beautiful Nemesis tea, my absolute favorite flavor at the time of this video going out. It should be 30% off right now. Go use code ACE, go bag yourself 30% off G Fuel. It helps the channel, helps you get some banging energy from a beautiful, beautiful energy formula. 30% off as well, that's like almost a third. Go and save yourself some money while supporting this beautiful content. Obviously watch the rest of this video first, but then go and use code ACE to get yourself 30% off. Or just open another tab and do it if you're feeling particularly, adventurous. Brock finds a tree nearby that has fruit on it that can apparently soothe sore throats, and Jigglypuff eats it and instantly begins to sing. Okay, a local fruit that solves the exact problem and works instantly. That's a bit too convenient, Pokemon. Come on, Liam, you're expecting complex writing from a kid's show. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I think it's been long enough now, by the way. You remember earlier when I said Double Edge was 100 base power? Yeah, I left you a little bit of time so you could write a comment telling me that it's actually 120 base power, before I then remind you that in Generation 1, it was in fact 100 base power. Let's count those edited comments. Jigglypuff miraculously sings and doesn't put anyone to sleep. I will let that one slide, but Jigglypuff straight after just immediately leg sweeps Pikachu for literally no reason. And to make it worse, nobody reacts again. Nobody says, "What the hell are you doing, Jigglypuff?" Nobody says, "Hey, that's my best friend Pikachu you're hurting there." Nobody does anything. Hashtag justice for Pikachu. Gotta love those Gen 1 shinies. Wait, that wasn't a thing. Are we sure Jigglypuff's song putting everyone to sleep is actually a Pokemon move, or is it just really boring? Like, the lyrics are one word and it's really repetitive. Jigglypuff gets frustrated when everyone falls asleep and doesn't consider for a second that it may be the problem. Who knew Jigglypuff had the brain of a YouTuber? Can you imagine how different things would have been if Ash hadn't been carrying markers in his bag?
Oh no, I'm angry and I want to draw on everyone's faces, but all I can find are knives.
The marker Jigglypuff uses to draw on everyone's faces wipes off instantly, and they don't even need to use water, so is it even worthy of being called revenge? I swear, poor Jigglypuff's taking L's left and right. Brock doesn't understand why Jigglypuff would be upset about everyone falling asleep whilst it's singing. Really, Brock? Really? This is weirdly out of character for Brock. He's normally quite intuitive and empathetic when it comes to Pokemon, so it's really weird that he's just like,
Nah, that can't be it.
Brock suggests maybe there's a Pokemon that wouldn't fall asleep. Brock, mate, this is first gen Pokemon. They all fall asleep.
Well, actually, Liam, I don't think it's very correct to compare the anime's logic to the games all the time.
It's an anime based on a video game. Shut the fuck up. Psyduck hears the song but falls asleep with its eyes open. I know we normally call Psyduck a dumbass, but those are some pro strats right there. Although Jigglypuff did figure it out almost immediately, so swings and roundabouts. Team Rocket checked their recording to see if they captured any of Jigglypuff's song, but all they have is the sound of themselves snoring. Which makes no sense because the mic was on a boom arm hidden in the grass and it was closer to Ash and the gang than it was to Team Rocket, so how did it pick up them snoring but not the sound of Jigglypuff singing? And even so, maybe rewind the tape? Maybe this part of the tape is after Jigglypuff stopped singing but when Team Rocket had already fallen asleep. So if they rewind a little bit further, maybe the song is in there somewhere. The gang gang decide to take Jigglypuff to sing in Neon Town, because in their minds, if the people there never sleep, then they'll be immune to Jigglypuff's song. Guys, I really don't think the people there never sleep because they're immune to sleeping. I think they probably don't sleep because they have very strong, unhealthy gambling and drug addictions. The gang are wasting this guy's time a bit, inquiring if there's an outdoor stage anywhere in the city, and that's not really his department. He's just a guy at work. He's probably sleep deprived. He tells them to get lost, which, you know, rightly so. He's busy. He's got stuff to do. Misty says that he's a jerk, and Ash says he's worse than a jerk. He's out and out mean. Ash, mate, jerks are mean. That's why we call them jerks. Team Rocket turn up, putting on very terrible British accents. The kind that scream,
"Hello, Gov. I heard a Cockney speak once, and I don't quite know how to replicate their voice."
Honestly, it's fucking tragic. James's isn't too bad, but Jesse's is just piss poor. Team Rocket have a truck that converts into an outdoor stage just ready to go. Team Rocket deliver faster than Amazon Prime. Pass it on. Oh, and since this is the only time I could probably segue into this in a WTF Moments video, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can connect it to your Twitch account and become a subscriber on Twitch absolutely free of charge. It's awesome, it supports the channel, and it don't cost you anything. It's great. Plus, I could do with more of you hanging out with me on Twitch. Like, it's not a replacement for YouTube, it's just somewhere extra to get more content. Come and hang out on Twitch. Don't be daft. Plus, look how cute all our emotes are. Not gonna lie, the scene where Jigglypuff sings and puts the entire city to sleep is way too long for my liking. Like, we get the gist, it's putting everyone to sleep. It really does seem like the writers took full advantage of this opportunity to do some slow panning shots in place of actual writing or animation. Lazy bastards. Also, are we just supposed to assume that nobody in the city was driving or operating heavy machinery during this impromptu concert? Because that would have been really dangerous. Surely if Jigglypuff is angrily drawing on the faces of every single person who fell asleep, which is every single person in the city, then that marker's gonna run out really fast. Ash comments that everyone in town fell asleep, and Brock says,
It sure seems that way.
"Oh, it seems that way, does it, Brock? Oh, really? What gave it away? Was it all the people getting up off the ground, waking up?" All the townsfolk start apologizing to each other for their previous behavior, and Brock speculates that maybe Jigglypuff's song doesn't just put people to sleep, but also makes them nicer. Brock, mate, are you high? You've been acting really weird this episode. Of course people are nicer after having a good night's sleep. That's what sleep does to you. It's got nothing to do with Jigglypuff-induced sleep specifically. Oh look, Robbie Rotten didn't get drawn on. I mean, why would you draw on him? He's number one. Either that or he's just wiped his face already. Team Rocket have woken up and are over the moon regardless of having failed in their plan. And to be honest, it's nice to see these three end an episode without suffering grievous bodily harm, so well done to them. It turns out Jigglypuff is actually following Ash and the gang, so we'll definitely see it again at some point. Which is great and all, but all I can focus on in this scene is the fact that Jigglypuff's marker doesn't have a cap on it. So by now, the ink's going to be completely dried out. I really can't stand when people let this happen. Is anybody else bothered by stuff like this? It's probably me. I'm probably just neurotic, but I don't care. The narrator ends the episode by screaming,
Wait for Jigglypuff.
"How can they, mate? They don't even know it's there. Dickhead." So those are my WTF moments for Pokemon Season 1, Episode 45, The Song of Jigglypuff. Let me know your favorites and any that I missed down in the comments below. Of course, like, share, and subscribe. Come over to Twitch. Use your Amazon Prime subscriptions as well while you're over there. And use code ACE for money off G Fuel. It's 30% right now. And until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.